I'm going to be talking about the 5 key reasons why someone is fearful avoidant in this video. I'm going to be having another video that's going to be talking about the key behaviors for each attachment style, so follow and hopefully you can catch up on some of those. I'm also going to be giving key strategies about how to move towards secure attachment in other videos. But in this specific one, I'm going to go through the 5 key reasons why someone is fearful avoidant. And the last one in particular is interesting because it brings it all together. So stick around so that you get that clarity. The first one is that as a child, it is highly likely that you experienced extreme fear as a child growing up. This might be because the caregivers were maybe alcoholics, so there was drugs, there was chaos in the household, or it might be that you went from one foster care or adoption to the next, but there was this huge amount of chaos in your childhood. And as a result of that, it led you to feel extreme fear on a physiological level, but that you weren't really able to understand on an emotional level, right? Because children, we don't really understand what's going on around us. That led to number 2, that you became really familiar. I do have a post that's got this written down, by the way, that you can save if you don't want to look at the whole video. But the second one is that you became accustomed to emotionally distant relationships as a result. The level of intimate connection was just not there, or it might be there, but then it wasn't there again. And so because of the chaos that you experienced as a child, it wasn't something that you could come to rely on. That led to number 3, which meant that because of those 2 things, the chaos or the extreme fear that you felt and the emotionally distant relationships that you felt, was that it led to a fear-induced survival, which is number 3. And that basically means that your nervous system is always in hypervigilant state. You're waiting for someone to change. You're waiting for someone. You're kind of suspicious about people, thinking, when is this person going to let me down? What is going to shift about this situation? So you find it very hard to access your parasympathetic system. Your parasympathetic system is not working as well, and so you're in this constant high level of stress, and that also leads to number 4. Now, I do want to add on a second bit to this. I'll explain the second bit in a second, which is that it probably has led to a series of broken relationships in your adulthood. And the residual impact of that has further broken down your level of faith and trust in things staying stable and secure around you. Now, the other thing that I do want to add, and this is based on my own experience with my own clients, so this is not again scientific or anything like that at all, but it is that with some of my clients, they have grown up in a fairly secure environment, but they still have quite strong, fearful, avoidant tendencies. And this is probably and highly likely, especially for my clients, has been because there's been betrayal in relationships, or a marriage that has broken down, and that's led to the same level of distrust. So as much as the research suggests that the vast majority of it is from childhood, it could also be because of the impact of adult relationships and the experiences that you've had there. This is just my experience. There's no science, and it's just anecdotal. Now, that all of it leads to number 5, which is the most important part, because and this is the nurture versus the nature thing, because it all then is translated, all that chaos and all that craziness and all that betrayal and whatever they experience, it really just is about how that person then translates that information. And for those people that come into fearful avoidant, they translate it in their body. It's like, I really would like to be in a healthy relationship. I want that. I want the intimacy. That's still there, which is that anxious attachment part, right? They really crave that level of intimacy. But on the other side of it, they hugely distrust it, which is not necessarily avoidant. Avoidant don't have the trust issues, but they don't really trust it, or trust its availability, or even trust the other person. They think the person might betray them. The person is not who they might seem to be, who they say they are, and so you don't really trust their intentions. And so that's why somebody who's fearful avoidant tends to give you real mixed messages, right? One minute they're all in, and the next minute they're all out, and then they're all in, and then they're all out. And that's because of the fact that when they're overwhelmed and their nervous system is overwhelmed, they find it very difficult to navigate themselves out of it. So those are the 5 key reasons why someone, or why you might be fearful avoidant. Does this resonate with you? Does it sound like somebody you know? Is it someone that something that you've experienced? Hit a message below and let me know. And again, if you have any questions, then give me a shout and I will be surely happy to create some more videos for you. Take care, stay blessed, and have a great day.